Let's talk about grace. It's easily one of the most powerful and, honestly, most controversial ideas in all of Christianity. And to really get our heads around it, we're not going to start with a dry definition. Nope. We're going to start with a story. A story about a family reunion that goes completely off the rails. So picture this. The scene is just chaotic, but in a joyful way. A father, a respected elder in his community, is shouting orders, but he's not angry. He is absolutely ecstatic. He's demanding the very best of everything he has for someone he's just spotted coming down the road. And here is the twist. The person he's celebrating? It's his younger son. A son who basically wished him dead by demanding his inheritance early. A son who took that fortune and just blew it all. So why the party? Why is he getting a celebration instead of a lecture? That is the profound question we're going to unpack. To really get what's going on, you have to understand just how completely shocking the father's actions would have been in that culture. I mean, this son has hit absolute rock bottom. Remember, demanding his inheritance was like saying, "Dad, I wish you were dead so I could have your stuff." And then he wasted all of it. So he comes dragging himself home completely broke, starving, and full of shame. He's even rehearsed a little speech to beg his dad to hire him as a servant. He's expecting, at best, rejection. But the father sees him coming and he runs. Now you have to get this. For a respected, dignified patriarch in that time and place, running was humiliating. It was just not done. But his love for his son completely steamrolled his own dignity. That one single act tells you we are not dealing with normal, predictable justice here. Something else is at play. And before the son can even get his "I'm sorry" speech out, the father just interrupts him with this flood of gifts. And these are not just random welcome home presents. No, each one is a powerful, powerful symbol. First, the best robe, which was probably the father's own finest garment, is put on him. This immediately covers his rags, his shame, and publicly gives him back his honor. Then, a signet ring. This wasn't just jewelry. This was like being handed the keys to the kingdom. It restored his legal authority to act in his father's name. And finally, sandals. Seems small, right? But slaves went barefoot. Sons wore sandals. In just a few seconds, his status as a son is completely and fully restored. There's no probation, no earning his way back, just pure, unearned acceptance. Okay, so this incredible story is really a perfect picture of this huge theological idea, grace. Let's break down what that actually means. So, what is grace? At its heart, it's favor. But more than that, it's the free and completely undeserved help that God gives us. The two most important words here are undeserved and unearned. Just like that son, the person receiving grace has done absolutely nothing to deserve it. In fact, they've probably done everything to deserve the opposite. Theologian Jonathan Edwards called it the greatest of all wonders. And that's not just poetic flair. Think about it. This isn't a gift for friends. It's not a reward for good behavior. It's a gift for rebels, for enemies, and that is what makes it so mind-bending. But this is where the whole idea gets really challenging, and maybe even a little dangerous. A theologian named Dietrich Bonhoeffer made this brilliant distinction. On one side, you have what he called cheap grace. This is grace as a get-out-of-jail-free card. It's forgiveness without any real change. But on the other side, there's costly grace. It's a free gift to us, but it costs God everything. And receiving it costs us our old life, because it calls us to follow a completely new one. This brings us to the other major character in the story, the one person who reminds us just how tough this whole concept of grace is to swallow. The elder brother. He hears the party, finds out why, and he is furious. He won't even go inside. And, from his point of view, you can almost understand it, can't you? He's been the good son. He stayed. He worked, he followed all the rules. His entire world runs on merit, on earning what you get. So this party for his loser brother doesn't just feel unfair, it feels like it breaks the very rules of the universe. And that tension between the two brothers, the one who gets unearned grace and the one who thinks everything should be earned, well, that's been at the very heart of some of the biggest debates in Christian history. It all comes down to a central question that has literally split denominations apart. If grace is a free gift from God, how exactly do we get it? What are the channels, the means, through which it comes to us?
And you can see the major lines of thought right here. For Catholics, the primary channels are the sacraments, things like communion or baptism that are believed to actually confer grace. Lutherans also point to sacraments, but right alongside the preaching of the gospel. Then you have Calvinists, who believe grace comes through God's effectual calling, an irresistible act from God that's only for the chosen. See, they're all wrestling with how this incredible divine gift actually makes its way to us. So, okay, beyond the ancient stories, beyond the theological debates, what does this actually look like? How does a person live a life that's actually based on grace day in and day out? I think the Apostle Paul said it perfectly right here. He's basically saying, my whole identity, everything I am and everything I've done, it's not my own achievement. I am a product of God's grace at work in my life. Pastor David Platt offers a really simple, practical model for this. In the morning, you wake up and just acknowledge your total dependence on God to get you through the day. During the day, you work hard, you pursue your goals, but not to earn God's favor. You do it because you're already empowered by the favor you've been given. And then at night, you look back, and any good thing that happened, any success, you credit it all back to grace. It creates this amazing rhythm of dependence, empowerment, and gratitude. Which brings us right back to Bonhoeffer's powerful paradox. True grace is free, but man, it is not cheap. It's costly. It costs us our old, self-reliant life, that life the elder brother was clinging to so desperately. But in return, it gives us the only true life there is, the one the younger son just stumbled into when he was welcomed home for no good reason at all. It's a gift that changes everything. The only question is, are we willing to receive it?